Hello and welcome back to another Doctor Who action figure review. Today's review we're going to be taking a look at the history of the Dalek set number 11, which is based on the story Genesis of the Daleks. This set features two Dalek drones in full grey livery. This design is considered to be one of the best classic Dalek designs of all time, from one of the most popular Dalek stories ever made. So to begin as ever, let's get the dull part out of the way and take a look at the packaging. So the box is still in its traditional blue and grey style guide with the TARDIS and the Doctor Who logo on the side, the gold foil sticker, as well as the name of the set and other bits of information on the front. On the back you have a synopsis about the story Genesis of the Daleks, as well as some behind the scenes information about the props themselves, which is always an interesting read. Just like the previous Dalek sets, the figures are blistered onto the background and the plastic window is now gone. If you want to know more about the reasoning behind all this, then I highly recommend checking out my previous review by clicking on the link in the right hand corner. Out of the box, the figures do look startling. The paint job on these particular variants are pretty much dead on to the on-screen props in my eyes. If you've ever owned any of the original variants, the colour was more of a matte version with a bluish hue added to the mix. It didn't look right whatsoever, but from what's been said, apparently character options have tried to match the colour to the on-screen counterparts and it works to a T. So taking a look at the first Dalek, which hasn't had much changes on it, this is supposedly based on one of the Goon props, which is basically a static Dalek with no operator. One of the major differences is that the oval on the midsection is no longer present, as there is one prop that did not feature that. The dome lights have remained untouched with some white paint over the top to make them look more frosted, just like the actual props. The eye stalk is also a nice touch with all the different paint apps added here, something that sadly wasn't achieved on the Dalek in the creation of the Dalek set. But you'll see what I mean when we get to that set. The mesh on the neck section is pretty much the same when it comes to all the detailing, with all the rings being painted in this brilliant grey. You also have the new style of solar panel slats going down the midsection, which again has been painted completely grey, something that never happened on any of the previous releases, as they always used to paint the mesh silver for some reason. Briefly taking a look at the gun and plunger, the gun is in this gloss black along with the ball joint, and the plunger end itself is in a matte black, with the silver rod going into another black ball joint. Like I said, there is no oval present because this is based on one of the Goon props. The hemispheres are all painted in this lovely gloss black, and then taking a look at the fender, the base coat here is a matte black with some silver scratches over the top, just to represent all the damage that may have been seen on the actual prop. I absolutely love that little touch, as it can be seen on screen as well as some of the publicity and behind the scenes images. Again, a very lovely Dalek figure. Every detail on it is a work of art in my eyes, as I don't think anything that has come beforehand has ever gotten near to perfection. Now, taking a look at the other Dalek, again, there's not much to say on this one other than a few minor differences. The key elements here is the fact that the dome lights are significantly different. These are in fact a brand new sculpt, and I was a bit confused whilst looking at this set, and these are used in the Destiny set as they do have a purpose on those particular Daleks. The reasoning for it being used here is because there was one particular Dalek prop that did feature similar dome lights, but not the types as shown on this toy. It's a close approximation, and I know there's been a bit of back and forth with fans on various groups and forums, but like I said, I think it does work to a certain extent. The oval on the midsection is now present, and the ball joints for the plunger has now been painted silver. And that is pretty much it when it comes to this Dalek in particular. There's nothing really else to distinguish this from the other version. One thing that I will say about this set is that it would be a brilliant opportunity for fans to army build these, as I know lots of fans in my friendship circle like to do so. But for me, considering I have loads of previous versions of these in my collection, I think I'm going to lay off getting a second set of these, even though they are so cool. So for articulation for the Daleks, you may know this by now, but we'll go through it once again. So, dome can do a full 360 turn. The eye can pivot up and down. The gun and plunger arm are on ball joints, so you have a full range of mobility there. And the Dalek can move in any direction it wants, because of the spinning wheel on the front, giving the Dalek full mobility. Woo! Overall, this is another brilliant set released by Character Options, as well as it being another chance for fans to not only get their hands on one of the most recognised classic Dalek designs, but to even army build this set would be a great opportunity. Christ, I mean, if I had the money, I certainly would, but considering I already own the original releases, it would be a bit of a pointless move on my end, as I would just lose a lot of space in the cabinet. Do keep trying your local B&M stores to try and track this down, as I think this is a set that fans should definitely have in their collection. I don't want to keep repeating myself, but Character really have knocked this out of the park yet again, and this has to be one of their best Dalek sets so far. So thank you all for watching, and see you all soon for another Doctor Who action figure review.